At some point today, your heart will beat, your lungs will pull in air, your blood will move through roughly 60,000 miles of vessels without you thinking about any of it, and one day, without warning, all of it will stop. But here's what nobody tells you. Death doesn't happen all at once. The moment your heart stops is not the moment you die. What actually happens in the seconds, minutes, and hours after that last beat is one of the strangest processes in all of biology, and most people have no idea it's coming. We talk about death like it's a door slamming shut. One moment you're here, the next you're not. But that's not what your body does. Your body doesn't stop. It transitions. And the process it transitions into is older than anything we've ever invented to fight it. Let's start with the first 4 minutes, because those 4 minutes are everything. The moment your heart stops pumping, your blood stops moving. That sounds obvious, but what it means for your brain is not obvious at all. Your brain is the most expensive organ you own. It makes up 2% of your body weight and burns 20% of your oxygen supply, every second, without negotiation. The moment circulation stops, your brain begins consuming its last reserves of oxygen almost instantly. Within 10 seconds, you lose consciousness, not slowly, not gradually. The lights go out fast. But here's what's strange. Your neurons don't stop firing when you lose consciousness. They fire harder. In 2013, a team at the University of Michigan, led by neuroscientist Borjigin, monitored the brains of rats in the moments after cardiac arrest. What they found stopped the entire lab. In the 30 seconds following the moment the heart stopped, the rats' brains produced a surge of neural activity that was measurably higher than anything recorded during normal waking life. Every frequency they measured spiked simultaneously. Gamma waves, the waves associated with conscious perception and dreaming, exploded to levels the researchers had never seen in a living, waking brain. The brain wasn't shutting down, it was doing something intense, something that used every last molecule of oxygen available before the supply ran out completely. Nobody knows exactly what that surge is. Nobody knows what it feels like from the inside, but it is almost certainly the biological mechanism behind near-death experiences, the tunnel, the light, the feeling of profound peace that people who have been resuscitated describe with such consistency across cultures, across centuries, across every corner of the world. Your brain, in its last moments, produces the most vivid experience of your entire life, and then the oxygen is gone. This is the 4-minute window. After 4 minutes without oxygen, brain cells begin dying in large numbers. The process is called ischemic cascade. Neurons deprived of oxygen start releasing massive amounts of the neurotransmitter glutamate. Glutamate is normally a communication signal. In these concentrations, it becomes poison. It floods neighboring cells. It forces calcium ions through membranes that were never meant to handle them. Those cells rupture, and that rupture triggers the next cell and the next. A wave of cellular death moves through the brain like a slow fire, and once it reaches a certain point, it cannot be reversed. This is why the 4-minute window matters so much in emergency medicine. This is why every second between cardiac arrest and resuscitation carries such weight. After 4 minutes, you can restart the heart, but the brain damage that has already happened doesn't come back. After 10 minutes, in most cases, resuscitation of the whole person becomes functionally impossible. But here's something almost nobody talks about. Your body is not finished. While your brain is shutting down, the rest of your body is still running. Not all of it, not coordinated. But individual systems, individual cells, they haven't gotten the message yet. Your liver cells are still processing. Your kidney cells are still filtering. Your gut is still producing enzymes. For a brief window after clinical death, a significant portion of your biology is continuing exactly as it was. This is the reason organ transplants are possible at all. A heart removed from a body within a few minutes of death and placed in the right conditions can beat again in someone else's chest. It doesn't know it was ever in a dead body. It just knows how to beat. And it does. Your skin cells stay viable for up to 24 hours after death. Bone tissue for up to 72 hours. Corneal cells for days. The body you think of as a unified thing, as you, is actually a collection of semi-independent systems that don't all die at the same moment. Death happens in stages. First the whole, then the parts, and the parts take their time. But there's another process beginning at the same time, and this one is harder to sit with. The moment circulation stops, an enzyme system inside your cells that normally functions like a cleanup crew flips into reverse. These enzymes, called lysosomes, exist to break down waste inside the cell, but without the chemical signals that tell them to stay contained, they begin breaking down the cell itself from the inside. Your own cellular machinery, the same machinery that built you, begins to digest you. This process is called autolysis, self-digestion, and it begins within minutes of death in the most metabolically active tissues. Your gut, which is full of digestive enzymes, begins breaking down its own lining almost immediately. Your pancreas, which produces more digestive enzymes than almost any other organ, begins consuming itself so quickly that forensic scientists can use the rate of pancreatic autolysis to estimate time of death. You are quite literally beginning to eat yourself from the inside. And while autolysis is working inward, something else is working outward. You have roughly 38 trillion bacteria living inside your body right now. Most of them are in your gut. For your entire life, your immune system held them in careful balance, keeping them where they belonged, preventing them from spreading into tissues that couldn't handle them. The moment your immune system stops, that balance ends. The bacteria don't die with you. They expand, they move into your bloodstream, they migrate through your intestinal walls into surrounding tissue, they begin breaking you down into the chemical components you were made from. This is not decay in the way most people imagine it. It is extraordinarily organized. Specific bacteria consume specific tissues in a specific sequence. The chemistry is consistent enough that forensic ecologists can identify how long a body has been in a particular environment by which bacterial communities are present and in what ratios. Your decomposition has a fingerprint. And here's the part that changes how you think about all of it. The atoms that make up your body right now were never really yours. The carbon in your bones was forged in the heart of a star billions of years ago. The iron in your blood was scattered across space when that star exploded. The water in your cells has cycled through rain, through rivers, through the bodies of creatures that died before the dinosaurs existed. You borrowed all of it. Death is just the moment you give it back. Every element that makes you up will become something else. The bacteria that break down your tissue will feed the soil. The nutrients in that soil will move into plants. Those plants will feed animals. Those animals will die and feed more soil. The carbon in your body right now will one day be in the lungs of someone who hasn't been born yet. The water in your cells will one day fall as rain on a city that doesn't exist. You don't disappear, you redistribute. There's a moment in the resuscitation literature that keeps appearing in different forms across different studies, different hospitals, different countries. Patients who were clinically dead and then brought back describe the same thing with strange consistency, not always the tunnel, not always the light, but a feeling, a specific feeling. The feeling of being pulled back into something heavy, of returning to weight, to pain, to the noise of the room and the pressure of the mask on their face. They described the state they were pulled back from as quiet, as simple, as something that did not feel like nothing. That detail has never been fully explained. It may never be. But it is there in the data, sitting quietly, in study after study, in patient report after patient report, waiting for a framework that doesn't exist yet. Right now, today, your heart is beating without your permission. Your cells are converting oxygen into energy without asking. Your body is running a process so complex that no computer ever built could fully simulate it. And one day that process will end. But it won't end all at once. It will slow. It will fragment. It will take the thing that was you and return it, piece by piece, to the world you came from. You've been breathing this whole time without thinking about it. Your heart has beaten several times since you started reading this. That's what makes it so strange. It will keep doing that right up until it doesn't, and you won't feel the difference coming.